How do you succeed at work with ADD? Career success is one of the things that eludes many ADDers. In this video, I'll share with you the 2 things you must find out and 5 of the best strategies that I used to recover from my first 6 failed jobs to build a successful Fortune 500 career where I've had the privilege of working with the biggest names in the industry, from Marriott to McDonald's to Johnson & Johnson to KPMG, Deloitte, all the way up to Fortune 5 companies. So stay tuned and I'll share with you these 7 behind the scenes tips that you can use immediately to overcome your ADD at work and achieve the career success that you're capable of. Welcome to Hidden ADD, where it's my mission to help adults with undiagnosed ADD or with recently diagnosed ADD to obtain the tools, insights, and science-backed strategies that they can use to live the life of their dreams. If you want to learn more and keep seeing videos like this, smash the subscribe button below and hit the blue bell so you get notified when I post new tips and tricks. Okay, so I'm going to share with you 7 tips where you can succeed at work with ADD. I've broken these 7 tips into the 2 things that you need to find out, and then the 5 strategies that you can use based on the information that you get. So the first thing that you need to find out is you need to figure out the 80% of bullshit that doesn't matter. You see, not everything matters equally. Is writing a presentation as appreciated as closing a sale? Is sitting through 6 hours of meetings as appreciated as actually creating and building something? The short answer is no, and the really successful people at work find out what the important, valuable things are to work on and which stuff is bullshit. So this approach is recommended in the 80-20 principle by Richard Koch. I highly recommend this book. It is based on the insight that's been shown in thousands of areas, from income distribution to pea pods in gardens, that 20% on average of the items account for 80% of the results. So 20% of the people have 80% of the wealth. These percentages aren't exact, but what we do know unequivocally is it's not a 1-to-1 ratio. Not everything at work is equally valuable. So how do you find this out? Is it just gonna be posted up somewhere on the wall? No, but you're gonna use your intelligence and cleverness, which is often found in abundance in ADDers, to strategically find out. You wanna find out what the unwritten rules are. Does anyone really care if you help out on that committee? If you help every colleague with every request that they ask for? If you attend hours of weekly status meetings? I can tell you, having sat in a lot of year-end review meetings where leaders are evaluating the performance of staff and all of their accomplishments for the year are summarized in 1 page or in 5 bullet points. Those things don't make the list. What makes the list are the kinds of things that you own and took leadership on, things that you were responsible for driving, things that contribute to saving money or making money or efficiency, things that help your boss and your boss's boss achieve the objectives and priorities that they've set out for your team and division. 2 ways to find out what really matters so you can focus there. 1, find out who is evaluating you at year end. It might just be your boss, but it could be your boss and your boss's colleagues. Or it could be your boss and the key stakeholders that you work with, because your boss will ask those people for feedback. Once you've identified who they are, you have a one-on-one meeting with them and you tell them that you want to add as much value as possible and want to make sure that you're adding value for them. So what is it that they're looking for from you? How can you add the most value for them? The other approach to find out what the things are that really matter, ask some of your colleagues and friends at work, especially ones who are more senior than you. Ask them, what are the key things that are really valued at year-end review meetings? If you're choosing between 2 options, like I could help on this committee or I could lead this very small little project, what should I do? You can also bring that to your friends. or mentors. Those are the two best ways to figure out what the hidden rules are. We ADDers aren't gonna win by getting more done than our colleagues, but we can use our smarts to get more of the right things done. And when you get the right things done, that is the single most important factor in having a successful career. The second thing you need to figure out is to discover your strengths. Getting things done and staying motivated on task is simply more challenging for us ADDers. To counteract that, you need to discover the things that you're great at, that you also love to do, and that are valuable in the marketplace. I put together a whole video explaining exactly how to do this step by step, and so I'll link to that. So now that we've found out these two things, we can now tackle our 5 implementation strategies. Strategy number 1, now that you know your strengths, you need to offload the things that you struggle with. These are the things that you hate to do or are just really slow and bad at. For me, it's things like administrivia, such as filling out paperwork, scheduling meetings, and getting down into the minutia. If you have a staff member, obviously you can delegate those things. Most people aren't in the privileged position to have a staff member that they can delegate to. So again, we're gonna bring our ADD smarts to work, and there are lots of ways where you can focus your efforts on the things you're good at and find help for the areas where you struggle. Here are a few quick ideas. Talk to a colleague who is exceptionally good at those things that you struggle with, and see if you can trade some work, something that you could help them with based on your valuable strengths, and they can help you with this strength of theirs. Another way can be volunteering for the work that you're good at, or suggesting that you take on that type of work, which leaves the other type of work still open. So I'll do this sometimes when I get a request. I'll say, I can do this part of the request based on things that I know I'm strong at and that I've now shown others I'm strong at. So I can do this part of the request if you can find someone to do this other piece of it. And the last strategy is to find someone younger than you that you can mentor. When I was just starting out rebuilding my career, I did a lot of that sort of grunt work for more experienced colleagues for 2 reasons. I was building a closer relationship with them, so I was building some allyship. And 2, I was learning by doing it. So when people are more junior, they want the opportunity to learn and get exposed to things. They're willing to do grunt work, less exciting work if they can build a relationship with you, get exposed, attend meetings that they wouldn't otherwise get to attend, and you can get credit for grooming interns or younger people and mentoring them. So it's a win-win. Strategy number 2, carve out undistracted work time. In his awesome book, Deep Work, Cal Newport, who by his late 30s has already written 7 books and is one of the youngest tenured computer science professors, talks about the value of doing uninterrupted work. The modern workplace is filled with so many distractions and interruptions, emails, IM, Slack messages, you name it. And then you get a ping and a notification from your phone on a social media. We all have almost no undistracted time. We ADDers, if you want any chance of corporate success, you need to carve out undistracted time. The best time to do that, when I do it, is in the mornings. You can block out time on your calendar. If you need to be immediately available to the boss starting at 8:30, you can do it from 7 to 8:30 in the morning. You can get up earlier. I know that you're smart and capable, but you need uninterrupted time to work, and it's your responsibility to create it. Strategy number 3, do your hardest thing first. This is a concept that was popularized by Brian Tracy in his book called Eat That Frog. And the idea of Eat That Frog is that if you knock out the hardest thing of your day first, your day's only gonna get easier. And not only that, but you don't need to worry about that thing all day and dread it, which drains a bunch of mental energy. You start your day off with positive momentum, and your brain is freshest in the morning. So for neurotypicals, it's a good productivity strategy. For us ADDers, it is essential. Strategy number 4, say no as much as humanly possible to things that are not in the important, valuable category that you discovered in the first 2 tips around what it is that you're gonna find out. Why is saying no so important? Because as Gary Keller, the co-founder of Keller Williams Realty, says in his book, The One Thing, everything you say yes to is 1,000 things that you're saying no to. Why? Because you have a fixed amount of time and energy. And if you give 1 hour to attend that meeting, that's 1 hour that you can't spend on something more valuable and important, either to your company or to you. And for us ADDers, we need to really be strategic about where we spend our limited energy and attention, because we don't have it in spades to just throw around to anyone who wants it whenever they want it. You gotta be smart and strategic about it, and the way that you do that is through saying no. 2 of my favorite resources for how to say no effectively are Tim Ferriss's Tools of Titans and the Assertiveness Workbook. This was something that my therapist recommended for me, and it's super helpful. Probably one of the most helpful workbooks I've ever read. And the 5th and final strategy number 5, use technology to minimize distractions. I'll share with you 3 of my favorite tools to use technology to minimize distractions. Number 1, Boomerang for Gmail, Inbox Pause. If you don't use Gmail, Google how to pause your inbox on whatever mail system you use. There's bound to be some approaches that you can use. And the idea is simply this. A lot of times when you go to use email, it's either to process existing emails or to send other emails. But when you go to do that, what happens? You start getting hit all the time with all these new emails coming in. Good luck not noticing or responding to them. This makes any trip to the inbox a productivity black hole. To get around this, install the free Boomerang for Gmail or whatever equivalent you find for your mail system, and use the feature called Inbox Pause. What this does is it takes all new emails, routes them to a separate folder, so you can work inside your email without getting hit with new incoming messages. Tool number 2 is a distraction blocker. The one that I've used personally is called Focus Me. Another popular one is Rescue Time. The idea is that you can set the software to block certain websites, block email, even block internet access so that you can focus. The 3rd and final is slightly lower tech. It's simply do not disturb mode. I set it on my phone. What this does is it keeps any text notifications or chat notifications from popping up. I set it on my computer. I'll close all of my chat windows or email windows when I'm trying to get concentrated work done. So use the do not disturb function on Mac, on Windows, on your phone. It's an immensely powerful thing. So in this video, I shared with you the 2 things that you must find out and the 5 strategies to implement based on what you've discovered in that find out section. If you like this video or you have other strategies, leave a comment down below. Let me know. Great to have you here, and I will see you in the next video.